Disney World is changing, meaning the way you prepare for Disney World is going to change right along with it. So let's figure out what you're going to need stocked in your Disney utility belt for 2024 here on DFV Guide. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. You don't have to pack your whole bedroom and closet before a Disney World trip to make sure you're prepared for anything and everything, but there are some important things you're going to want with you before your big vacation in 2024, and these things don't have to take up a whole lot of suitcase space, if any. While we're not going to get into the specifics of luggage, toiletries, and carry-on essentials today, we do have a complete Disney packing list featured in our free Disney planning worksheets, which will be great to have ahead of your next year's trip too. So go ahead and scan the QR code you see on the screen now, or head over to disneyfoodblog.com/disneyplans after this, and we'll get those worksheets sent to you ASAP. Okay, first thing you definitely don't want to go to Disney World without are those advanced dining reservations, especially for new restaurants. So ADRs for Disney World have been around for lots of years. Who remembers when they used to call them priority seating reservations, right? But the reservations you're going to be able to grab in 2024 are expanding. This year, we got to see new restaurants added to the Disney table service lineup, including the family-style Toy Story-themed barbecue joint Roundup Rodeo Barbecue over in Hollywood Studios, and the Sushi Teppan Festival-focused Shiki-Sai Sushi Izakaya over in Epcot. Both of these restaurants have had some time to adjust to theme park operations and are now ready for you to dine at for any end-of-the-year trips in 2023 or any and all vacations in 2024. But because these restaurants are still new, their reservations are pretty popular and can book up fast. So you're going to need to drop everything, go over to your wall calendar right now. Y'all still use wall calendars, right? I have 2 of them. And circle the date marking 60 days out before your vacation, because that's the earliest you're going to be able to start making those advanced dining reservations for your trip. But hold on, there may be some late table service entries that you'll also want to book ahead of time that aren't available for you to snag just yet, but will be soon. Summer House on the Lake will be opening in Disney Springs by the end of this year, as far as we know, and will offer a wide variety of options good for families with multiple preferences, including things like pizzas and sandwiches, salads, pasta, grilled dishes, and more. Meanwhile, the Cake Bake Shop at Disney's Boardwalk Inn is slated to open in spring 2024 and will be a beautiful, floral, whimsical space serving up sweets and eats and afternoon tea and have a champagne bar. Now, while you can't make reservations for these 2 places just yet, it's still good to keep checking back here with us so we can let y'all know exactly when these reservations are going to start opening up. Dining reservations tend to open for guests 60 days out, starting at 6 a.m. Eastern, but as you know, if you watch our videos, they've also been known to open even earlier than that, like 5:30 or 5:45 a.m. So if you want your best chance at securing those reservations, start brewing yourself a cup of joe or grab an energy drink from the fridge or like a cold bucket of water dumped on your head. I don't know, whatever makes you wake up the fastest, because in this case, the early bird gets the reservation most of the time. If you miss your chance at getting an ADR, or your trip happens sooner than 60 days out from now and you're just hearing about this, don't fret just yet. Instead, keep checking back on the Disney World website or the My Disney Experience app as often as you can, just in case more availability pops up later on. Happens all the time because folks have to make cancellations all the time. It's just the Disney World circle of life. Even on the day of your visit, you might find last-minute reservations or a walk-up wait list for the restaurant you were really wanting to try. Just check the dining tip board on your My Disney Experience app or head up to the restaurant itself and ask the host about any potential last-minute options. They may not be able to do anything for you because a booked up restaurant is a booked up restaurant, but they could have insight that the app's not showing, giving you one last shining chance to actually eat at one of these locations. Now, how about those park hoppers? Sure, you could get park hoppers this year, but next year's park hoppers are going to be way more efficient and worth your money. Disney announced that beginning January 9th, 2024, all-day park hopping, which means you're hopping between parks, obviously, like you can start in Magic Kingdom and then head over to Epcot, for example. And being able to do that all day instead of after 2 p.m. is going to be coming back. This means anyone who has a park ticket with a park hopper add-on or anyone with an annual pass can visit another theme park at any time of day during the park hours. Now, this used to be the way things worked before 2020, but park pass reservations forced park hopping to become a little more strict. So when the add-on was re-released back in 2021, guests were only able to park hop after 2 p.m. each day, and it's been that way ever since. Until next year, that is, when that restriction will finally be lifted, just like my spirits. Now, remember that park pass reservations are going away for most tickets too, beginning on January 9th as well. Disney noted that on days when and theme park reservations are required for annual pass holders and certain non-dated tickets, pass holders and guests will be able to take advantage of the updates to Park Hopper Access after visiting their first park. So, to summarize, if you're an AP and have a park pass reservation for Magic Kingdom and you enter that park at 9 a.m., you can go to a different park anytime after you scan into that first one. You just have to scan into the park that you have a park pass for first. Now, keep in mind, park hoppers aren't for everyone. They're still going to add quite a bit of money to your standard ticket price, like $65 plus per ticket. So even though this returning offering is exciting, it may still not be the best fit for your travel plans, especially if you're planning on spending full days at each of the parks and don't want to worry about all the extra traveling between locations. Just talk things over with your fam and figure out if park hoppers will actually be worth the potential hundreds of dollars extra on top of what you're already paying for your trip. It can be super handy to have that flexibility and that freedom to go to any park when you want to, but it's also expensive. Now, unfortunately, the next thing on our list that you're going to need in 2024 is a bigger budget. Sorry, hate to tell you this, but you could have already guessed it anyways. Disney World just got hit with a big old wave of price increases in October, and that's probably just the beginning of all the spiked up costs we're gonna see. Thousands of price increases slam the Disney Parks restaurants. This happens every October, by the way. And if you want to check out the full list of what was affected, I'll link our post about it down in the description. Just to give you a little taste, here are some examples. The California cheese and charcuterie plate from Baseline Tap House went from $12.50 to $13. Princess Storybook Dining for lunch and dinner at Akershus Royal Banquet Hall in Epcot changed from $63 to $67. Lunch and dinner at Cinderella's Royal Table in Magic Kingdom changed from $79 to $84. And all of Nomad Lounge's cocktails in Animal Kingdom now cost 50 cents to $1 more than they did before. So, yep, these are tiny, tiny increases, but together, when you think that everything you're going to eat and drink in Disney World is going to go up anywhere from 50 cents to $5, that's a big budget increase. And that's only the start of all the price increases we just witnessed. Price spikes also impacted other Disney World vacation expenses like Memory Maker, annual passes, fireworks dessert parties, and parking at the theme parks even went up. Price hikes may only impact most things by just a few bucks, but you add all those $1 plus increases together, you're going to find yourself spending way more on your vacation than you originally intended. So you're going to need to budget more money than you think you might need just to give yourself a safety net. You're also going to want to track down ways to save money where you can. We've got a video out now talking about 50 different ways you can save $100 or more on your upcoming Disney World trip, which you can totally check out after we finish up here today. We'll link it for you. But just to give you an idea of what we cover in that video, here are a few ways you can save major moolah on a vacation that gets more and more expensive with each passing year. You can book hotels during the week. Hotels, including Disney ones, typically see cheaper prices during the week, but spike upwards on the weekends. Some Disney World hotel discounts are even specifically labeled for stays between Sunday and Thursday, leaving out those Friday and Saturday nights entirely, since that's when the resorts tend to see the most demand. So if you can plan out your vacation stay during the week versus during the weekend, you might wind up saving yourself some serious money. You can also pack food from home. If you don't want to pay for an expensive meal or even a quick service meal every single time you need a bite to eat, then pack your own food to take into the parks. It's totally allowed. You can pack PB&J, cucumber slices, packages of grapes, Lunchables, mixed nuts, several other picnic-like food options to munch on during the day, while still keeping full and satisfied. Just make sure the foods you do pack follow Disney guidelines, meaning you don't have to keep them frozen, you don't need to reheat them, they don't have too strong of a smell, and they're not being kept in glass containers. And you can also use a reliable travel agent. So our friends over at Small World Vacations are Disney authorized travel agents with superpowers. They're super savings powers, meaning they learn about new Disney discounts and promotions just as soon as they're released, and sometimes even before that. When you partner directly with Small World, they're going to be sure to apply those savings to your trip whenever they find out about them without you having to lift a finger. Seriously, it's incredible. And they're totally free to use. So if you want to get a free vacation quote from the Small World crew, check out our link down in the description. Next thing you might want to have with you in 2024 is the Disney dining plan. Don't want to stress over budgeting for all your Disney dining? Then you may want to add the Disney dining plan to your vacation next year. So this will be returning on January 9th, 2024, the same day the Park Hopper rules are going to be lifted and Park Pass reservations will become a thing of the past for a lot of folks. For those who don't know what the dining plan is, especially since it's been missing from Disney World since early 2020, this is a way for Disney World guests who book a vacation package through Disney to prepay for all or most of their dining costs. And you can add it to your future trip right now, meaning it's about time you learn the ins and outs of this returning service to see if it's going to be the right fit for you. 2 plans are currently available for you to tack onto your vacation package. The standard dining plan is going to provide you with meal credits for 1 table service, entree, dessert, or full buffet, 1 quick service meal, including entree or combo meal, 1 snack or non-alcoholic drink, and 1 resort refillable drink mug per person per package. And you'll get all of these per day. So this is $94.28 per adult per night and $29.69 per child per night. Now, the quick service dining plan looks very similar to the standard one, but instead of getting 1 table service entree, you get a second quick service meal credit. The quick service plan will cost you $57.01 per adult per night and $23.83 per child per night. While the quick service plan is significantly cheaper, you won't be able to use quick service credits on a table service meal. So if you still wind up deciding you want a sit-down meal in the end, you're going to have to pay for that out of pocket if you choose the quick service plan over the standard one. Now, if you want to learn even more about the Disney dining plan and whether or not it'll be worth purchasing ahead of time, be sure to check out our Disney dining plan playlist. We've got a lot of DDP videos created so far over on our YouTube page. Whether this is your first time going to an Epcot festival or you've got every festival down to a science, you're gonna have to relearn everything you once knew about them because they're about to change, big time. If you've been keeping up with all the Epcot updates, then you know that this favorite park of mine has been undergoing a lengthy refurbishment for literally years now. So long, in fact, that I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do with myself when Walcott finally starts coming down. What do you mean I'm not gonna feel like a rat in a maze? Where's all the Pardon Our Pixie Dust signs? Or inspirational Walt Disney quotes? Am I actually gonna start feeling nostalgic about the walls? No, not gonna happen. But once December rolls around, this massive transformation will finally wrap up and completely change the way we do festivals in Epcot. So what's included in this major world celebration transformation? The biggest thing you need to expect is a designated festival area, which will include Communicore Hall and Communicore Plaza. These locations will serve as a sort of home base for festivals, which, not gonna lie, I'm pretty excited to see in action. Communicore Plaza is gonna provide an outdoor space for visitors to experience all the festivals have to offer, from live music to festival booths to relaxing seating areas too. Now, does this mean we're also gonna start seeing the end of guests transforming trash cans into makeshift festival tables? I doubt it, but we're gonna focus. Okay, Communicore Hall will be located within the plaza, but will be an indoor area where chefs can host demonstrations, artists can showcase projects, and musicians can perform more live music. This is the first permanent structure built in Epcot that's sole purpose will be to house festival happenings. With all that being said, you're definitely going to want to stay up to date on when Communicore Hall and Plaza are officially going to open up in Epcot, and when they do open, you can bet your bottom Disney dollar that the team and I are going to be there to learn all the basics and secrets for you. If you grab our Disney Dining Plan worksheets today over at disneyfoodblog.com/DisneyPlans, we're going to sign you up for our free DFB newsletter too. That way we can keep you in the loop about all the Disney news, including the festival news. You can unsubscribe from our newsletter at any time and still keep the free planning worksheets, but if you stick around, we promise to make it worth your while. Now, here's a tricky one to talk about because while this Disney Genie Plus change hasn't happened yet, it could happen soon, and when it does, it's going to be a major game changer for Lightning Lanes from here on out, so you might not want to go to Disney World in 2024 without advanced Genie Plus reservations. Alright, enough with the elusive talk, let's get to the facts. Disney is currently working on a way for guests to plan their Lightning Lane selections before the day of their park visit, a change that's slated to go into effect for future 2024 vacations. According to Disney, the goal of this change is to give you the opportunity to spend less time planning in the park and more time enjoying your visit with friends and family. AKA, they want to simplify your Genie Plus experience because, let's be real here, it is not simple currently. Now, Disney hasn't shared just what those changes will be yet, but 2024 is rapidly approaching, so here's to hoping we hear more about the future of Lightning Lanes real soon. In the meantime, it's best that you familiarize yourself with other recent Lightning Lane changes that are in effect currently. For example, the My Disney Experience app now lets you know when you can make another Lightning Lane selection instead of you having to keep track of that yourself. You can make your next LL selection either after you've used the last Lightning Lane you made, or it's been 120 minutes since the last Lightning Lane you made, but you haven't gotten a chance to use it yet. On the attractions and shows tip board, you'll see a time posted at the top of the app's screen next to Genie's head that'll let you know when your cooldown time is over and when you're allowed to book another ride. Now, Disney Genie Plus and individual Lightning Lanes use a surge pricing system now too. This has always been the case for individual individual lightning lanes, but when Genie Plus was first introduced, it was a flat rate of $15 per day per person. But on October 22nd, 2022, things changed, and now prices vary each day depending on demand. You can make an educated guess whether Genie Plus pricing will be higher or lower ahead of your trip just by looking at the price ticket calendar on the Disney World website. When ticket prices are higher, Genie Plus prices will typically be higher too. And when ticket prices are lower, same rules apply. Okay, how's about one more, and then I'll recommend you check out our other Genie Plus videos on our channel if you want to learn more. Sound good? Good. Okay, in March of this year, Disney changed their Genie Plus system so that those who purchase Genie Plus will now be given free PhotoPass downloads of attraction photos taken on the day of purchase. So don't forget to take advantage of that and keep your glorious rock and roller coaster or Tower of Terror photos for all time, because those are model shots and you know it. Next is the My Disney Experience app. Just like last year and the year before that and the year before that, the My Disney Experience app is going to be critical for 2024, maybe even more than ever before. The MDE app is like the digital equivalent of Mary Poppins' carpet bag, but instead of holding things like umbrellas and lamps and greenery, it holds all the information for your upcoming Disney World vacation. This includes all your reservations, restaurants, lightning lanes, hotel rooms, digital room keys, online check-in and check-out, virtual chat features with guest services, ride wait times, PhotoPass, parking lot, car locator, mobile order, virtual healthcare services, and several other features that you'll want to know before your trip, which is why downloading this free app before you go is going to do you wonders. That way you don't have to cram and learn how everything works on the day of your visit, and you'll already have all that knowledge tucked away, ready to use. Now, here's my big warning message for you. The My Disney Experience app is nifty, to be sure, and we're all glad it exists, but it's also technology, and you know how unreliable technology can be. We've seen the My Disney Experience app crash and cause issues multiple times in the past. Whether that meant mobile order wasn't working, or people ran into issues with pulling up their tickets and passes, or lightning lanes weren't live right at 7 a.m. like they're supposed to be. If the My Disney Experience app decides to rebel on you during your next trip, the best thing you can do is keep checking back in on the app to see when things return to normal. Great answer, right? It's like the equivalent of an IT person telling you to turn off the computer and turn it back on again. But in all seriousness, Disney's going to work as quickly as possible to get the MDE app back up and running because they know how incredibly crucial it is for guests to have with them in the parks. So the answer could really be as simple as just quitting the app and trying it again. The unfortunate thing is that refreshing the app over and over is definitely a pain and could be a hindrance if you have plans in the morning before you go to the parks. After all, nobody wants to spend breakfast glued to their phone. Talk about taking you out of the moment. So it's always best to have that plan B just in case, so take those screenshots of reservations and purchases that you made through the app just so you have the receipts in case things really do go on the fritz. And don't be afraid to hit up guest services at the parks or at the front desk of your resort to talk directly to a human about your concerns. While they're not going to be able to wave a magic wand and make the MDE glitches go away, they may be able to help you out with an alternative solution. All right, shameless plug, you don't want to go to Disney World without the best dining guides ever. Am I biased? Yes, but I also know how hard we work, and I have worked on these Disney dining guides for years. So when I say they're the best, I mean we put our heart and soul into these ebooks to make sure you're getting not only updated stuff, but our best recommendations, tips, budgeting strategies, and more based on what's happening in the parks today, not 2 years ago, not 5 years ago, today. We've got dining guides featured on the dfbstore.com website for all the Disney World restaurants, but we've also got them for festivals and holidays, snack locations, and the Disney dining plan too. Can't choose which one you want the most? Then grab that everything bundle. It's going to cost you 55% less than if you were to buy each of these books individually. Not only that, but you can add even more savings by typing in code YouTube before you check out. And remember, this is 100% money back guaranteed. You don't like these books? No problem. We gotcha. You don't want to go to Disney in 2024 without knowing the virtual queue system and understanding those boarding groups, y'all. Virtual queues entered the Disney scene in 2019 when Rise of the Resistance opened in Hollywood Studios, and they've become a prevalent part of the parks ever since. Per the release of this video, virtual queues are the only way you can experience new attractions like Tron Light Cycle Run in Magic Kingdom and Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind in Epcot. Now, of course, you can buy those individual lightning lanes, but the virtual queues are the only free way to do these two. And when Tiana's Bayou Bayou Adventure opens up in Magic Kingdom later on in 2024, I'm almost 99.99% sure it's going to have a virtual queue too to help manage that high demand. In order to access a virtual queue, you're going to need to log into the My Disney Experience app. Make sure you're using the account with all your reservation and ticket information. Otherwise, it's not going to work. The boarding groups for virtual queues go live twice daily, once at 7 a.m., once at 1 p.m. You may also get a third chance of a boarding group if you're staying in the parks for an after-hours event. But the only thing about virtual queues is that they do fill up, so it's best to try for that 7 a.m. time slot first. That way, you've got kind of a safety net to fall back on if you need to try again at 1. The 7 a.m. drop time can also be accessed from literally anywhere, even your cozy bed in your hotel, just as long as you've got your park tickets purchased and ready to go. Meanwhile, the 1 p.m. drop means you have to be in the park where the ride resides. So if you're trying to get a boarding group during the second drop for Tron, then you better be in Magic Kingdom when the clock strikes 1. If you're on Disney property, you may be tempted to leave your phone connected to Disney Wi-Fi when you're trying to secure these boarding groups, but here's another thing. Disney Wi-Fi is notoriously spotty, and it could cost you a spot in the virtual queue, which, I'm not joking, can fill up in literal seconds just as soon as it goes live. So turn off your Wi-Fi on your phone before the boarding group distribution time and just use your regular, 5G or LTE or 4G, whatever you got. Now, right on the hour, select Join Virtual Queue on the My Disney Experience app. The next screen's going to ask you to confirm everyone who'll be joining the virtual queue. Everyone on your friends and family list should be selected. Confirm that and click on Join Virtual Queue. Keep in mind that you can confirm your party ahead of time, starting at 6 a.m., which could give you a major advantage in securing your virtual queue spot. Now, once you get your boarding groups, and yeah, I'm assuming you're going to get them because I believe in you, be sure to enable push notifications on your phone so the My Disney Experience app can send you a notification when your boarding group is called. After all that work, you do not want to miss out on it, do you? And of course, you gotta pack your patient pants. Could this be the most important thing to take with you to Disney World in 2024? Mayhaps. After all, there will be crowds, there will be ride breakdowns, there will be transportation woes and sticker shock and torrential downpours and meltdowns and super sore feet and maybe even hurricanes. What? Am I not selling this for you? Folks, I promise Disney World can be a great time, but if you're expecting it to be 110% magical with no issues whatsoever, you are setting yourself up for disappointment. Our saying over at DFB is this: prepare for the worst, but anticipate the best. While it's not worth stressing over everything that could potentially go wrong during your trip, it's good to have backup plans just in case your vacation throws you a curveball. If the crowds are too wild for you, escape the parks for a little bit and eat a nice meal at one of the resorts instead. Bus transportation might be threatening to make you late to a reservation. Well, budget for a rideshare service to beat the clock. If rain is ruining your fun sunny day, see which indoor attractions are available nearby where you can wait out the storms, like rides and shops, restaurants, and shows. There's always an alternative solution you can turn to when things don't go the way you planned, because not everything's going to go the way you planned. Just a heads up. Don't worry, we're going to be there to help you out every step of the way, so keep checking back in with us and we'll keep on providing you with the best tips and tricks we can possibly find. All right, looky there. You are almost ready to take on your 2024 Disney World vacation. You're just missing one thing: your suitcase. Remember, we've got a whole packing list featured in our free DFB planning worksheet, so make sure to grab yours today over at disneyfoodblog.com/disneyplans. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.